Good morning, seventh graders. It's good to see you. What do we have on the schedule for this week? Well, we're going to read chapter 17 this week. That's your big overarching goal. We only have one Zoom meeting. That's Tuesday of this week. And you have a narration that's due on Thursday. So let's break that down a little bit in today's lesson. For today and for tomorrow's Zoom meeting, if you could read sections 1 and 2 of chapter 17. In it, they're going to outline the different plans that the government thought about, argued about, for allowing states back into the Union. We remember that if Abraham Lincoln had survived, maybe he would have been very lenient on the states that had rebelled and gone in and fought against the Union. But because John Wilkes Booth assassinated him, we'll never know exactly how it all would have worked out. There were a couple of different theories, and so for today's reading, here's what you need to really pay attention to. There's one plan that's called the 10% plan. It was a very lenient plan, so they weren't trying to punish anyone in this plan. If 10% of the population of a southern state that had rebelled, someone from the Confederate States of America, if one of those states said that 10% of their people were like on board with the new government that they were going to set up, agreed to the different amendments that they were proposing to the Constitution, particularly the 13th Amendment, then they would be welcomed back into the states, the Union. So that means that 90% of people could have still disagreed with what was happening in their state, in their country, and they could have still been a part of it. Well, the Republicans thought this is too lenient. There are going to be too many people who don't really think that slavery's bad, that the Union was right for waging war against the Confederates. So we really want to make everyone say, yeah, we're sorry, we messed up, and we were wrong. The 10% plan only required very few people, 10%, to do that. There was another faction, we call this faction the Radical Reconstructionists. They were Republicans who really wanted to stick it to the South and make sure that this thing never happened again. Everyone's got to say they're sorry. More people than 10%, over 50% need to do that. There needs to be more of an effort to say, hey, we were in the wrong, and also require them to go through some more hoops to get admitted back into the states. And you can read about that in sections 1 and 2. Some of the different hurdles they would have to jump through in order to get back into the Union. It actually leads to some military zones, which is kind of strange to think about, but the government put the military in charge of the Confederate States of America. They broke it up into 5 military zones, and it was under what we might call martial law, under generals. They were in charge of those states, trying to figure out how to register people to vote again in the Union, and making sure that the criminals who led the Confederates were punished. This chapter also will highlight the Civil War amendments. These are 3 really important amendments you have to know. Some of the amendments in our Constitution aren't as important as other ones, right? We remember that one of the Bill of Rights is that soldiers can't be quartered in people's houses, can't be housed in your home. They can't just show up and say, hey, I want to live here, right? That doesn't seem like a really popular, important amendment. But 3 that really are the 13th, the 14th, and 15th Amendments. Not part of the Bill of Rights. Bill of Rights, remember the first 10 amendments. The 13th Amendment ended slavery. Slavery was illegal in all of the states. The 14th Amendment gave citizenship to everyone who was born in our country. So if you're born here, you're a citizen. That's still are the law of the land. So if you are born here, you become a citizen. That's not the case in a lot of modern states. They've gone away from just by being born, you are a citizen. We're one of the last countries that do that. Maybe we could talk about it tomorrow, whether you think that's wise or not, a super smart idea, or is that an idea that's past its usefulness? Well, we can talk about that tomorrow. And then the 15th Amendment said that if you're a citizen, then you can vote. So these are called the Civil War Amendments because all three of them combined to give African Americans new powers, new rights in our union. So sections 1 and 2 are laying out the different plans for Reconstruction. So pay attention to the 10% plan, the ideas behind radical Reconstruction, and the Civil War amendments in today's readings. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow on Zoom at 12:38. Bye.